Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Such a Wild, a.k.a. Bird, and I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE Show. COUSIN TRACEY? We are back at it. Episode 54. Episode 54 in the building. Hey, we got a special guest. We got a heavyweight.
Heavy hitter.
We got a heavyweight in the BYRDCAGE today, you know what I'm saying? My man TU RAE, we definitely, because I'm gonna say this, listen, if you do not know, I don't even know if I need to introduce him, but I'm going to introduce him, but if you do not know, you know what I'm saying, this guy is busy. He's flying there, flying here, hosting this, hosting that, so you know what I'm saying? So we definitely appreciate you just taking a second to slide through, you know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate that.
Listen, I was just telling you when Such was like, oh, this week we taping, we're going to have TU RAE. I'm like, the comedian? Oh shit, the BYRDCAGE has arrived.
I'm glad. And I'm glad I'm known by my works.
Definitely. So before we get all into this, man, just say what's up to people for us real quick.
What's good, party people? It's your boy TU RAE, your favorite comedian. If you don't know, you will know after you see me. So welcome to the BYRDCAGE. I'm in here.
Definitely. And it's funny because, you know, we talk a lot about sports and all that type stuff and whatnot. Yeah. But we also talk about the connections you make through college.
Yeah.
Directly or indirectly. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into it, I just got to say how we connected. You know what I'm saying? Tracy Lee.
Yes.
My brother Caus.
Yes.
They at Howard together. Case, who's his guy, him and Tracy Lee, went to school together, Gerard, and all that together, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was up there, homecomings and all that. We got to know Case, and through Case, we got to know him, and now we hanging out with Philly with TU RAE and Case and the whole nine. So indirectly, directly.
And it was so dope, man. I always, like, I don't know if them guys really understood what that was for me, because I think that was right around the time my dad died. Okay. So just that camaraderie and them allowing me to be a part. Like, I remember going to parties 30 deep. And they was like, and they had like a, we all get it. All get none of that. Leave him outside. It was like that. And they would, whatever happened at the door, it would be negotiation, whatever.
Everybody's in the building.
Everybody went in, man, and we hung, and it was just a fun time, man.
Yeah, so, definitely.
You know, because of those connections, it was like, well, if you're his guy, you cool. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I don't know if you remember. The guy Jamel, when he first came around, we used to call him New Guy.
Yes.
Because he was a new guy.
He was a new guy.
He was like the dude he kind of went to Howard. Jamel
went to
Howard.
He did.
Like that was the end of the line.
Right. Yes, he did. He did.
But we called him New
Guy. And I was talking to Caus today, and he's like, yo, man, you got to make sure you let him know. That, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, he was always calling himself a comedian. Yeah. Like, I'm a comedian. I call myself a comedian. He's like, yo, and I remember the first time he got paid for being a comedian. And that was it. He just took it to the next level.
I remember, you know, it's funny because I remember when I met Caus, it was like, you know, meeting people, my name being TU RAE, and having a unique name, you know, of course, Casey and Tracy and all this, so quick Mike, you know.
Right.
So it was like, Caus was like, what's your name? And it's like, I remember because it was like you would hear it. And I would think in my head, it was like, I was thinking it's Caus, like C-O-U, like something like that. And he was like, I think I seen his name or something. I was like, Causar, like what the fuck? And I was like, he was like, yeah, nigga, TU RAE. What you think? You the only one with a unique name? I was like, and then when I met you, I was like,
so TU RAE is your birth
that's
name.
My name. That's my God-given name. And it's 2 words. It's TU RAE.
Right.
Yeah, man. But anyway, connections and people and friends and all that.
That's definitely what's up. Yeah. So before we get this crackalating, you know what I'm saying? Just for those that don't know, you know what I'm saying, just let them know a little bit about yourself.
Tell them where you're from, what school you went to,
Philly,
colleges.
Born and raised in Philly. Well, you know, I'll let you do that because some of your questions asked that. Right. Born and raised in Philly, went to Cardinal Doherty High School. That was the high school. Went to Catholic school K through 12. So, you know,
Catholic girl over here.
Yeah, Catholic school. You know, like I had like somebody posted something on Facebook the other day, like y'all people that grew up with encyclopedias thought y'all was better than everybody. I was like, yeah, I had Art Link Letter and Encyclopedia Britannica, full color drawing. What you mean? Like, but yeah, then I went to Temple, and that's where the comedy bug was born for me. Just because grew up, like this the thing now. Like to be grown and be dark skinned. I grew up. I was born in '73, so I grew up like this wasn't the thing to be. Like I got teased a lot or whatever. But what's so funny? Said I never thought about it like that. I just thought that was how, like rites of passage. Like growing up, niggas pick on you. I didn't think it was overly excessive. I wasn't bullied. It was like niggas said shit from time to time. But my defense mechanism was my mouth. Because I was smart. And I knew I could say shit back, but I couldn't. I'm not back and forth. I would say something. It's ending, so I always had that quick wit, shut shit down type of humor or speak.
Right. And
going on college campus, I wasn't in a fraternity. I wasn't playing sports. So how do you get known by by being quote unquote smart mouth? And this girl, I never forgot, Stacy Johnson, walked up on me, just hanging around campus one day in Student Activity Center. She was like, you funny as shit. You coming to open? No, she's like, you coming to open mic night tonight? And I was like, what we do open mic night? Right. What's that? She's like, you funny as shit. And she it was her affirmation that because I never thought about I was gonna be a lawyer. I knew I could talk, but I never. And I knew I liked comedy. I liked comedy. But Temple was where the journey started for me, and then just went on to work at the Laugh House and established
That's where it was.
To look back on it and have to say it yourself, it is what it is, but I kind of established urban comedy in Philadelphia. Okay. I was there when it was born. Okay. And I, what I'm saying? Like when we got in the Laugh House, the Laugh House is the Laugh House because it was Catch a Rising Star.
Gotcha.
On South Street.
It was on South Street.
All right, so
South Street, Philly.
Right. Yeah, so now it wasn't that I couldn't play basketball. I just wasn't, in my head, it just wasn't what I wanted to do in my life. It was so I played ball. I played like AAU, I played little pro, like that dumb shit, getting money leagues around the city. So I always knew it was good runs at the sporting club on top of Bellevue in Philly. They was like, it was good runs in there because the pros would go in there and work out. Some of the all the Villanova guys would run there. But sometimes you catch a pro. And I caught Mo Cheeks in there. And I knew I was good because I put a move on Mo Cheeks. We was going back up the court. He's like, good move, big man. I was like, yeah. He was I caught you. You know what I mean? But playing basketball, this blonde-haired, blue-eyed Ken doll. I mean, this dude was gorgeous. But he can't play to save his life. I guess he's playing, to get in shape or whatever. I'm cooking this nigga. So I'm talking to him while I'm playing him. He's like just laughing. It's like between games, he's against the wall chilling. And he's like, man, you are so funny. And I was like, yeah, I just started doing comedy. In college, I go to school, but I just started doing comedy. He was like, man, that was crazy. I own a comedy club. It was Eric Blumenfeld. Oh. Now, if you don't know that name, then all right, if you know South Street, at the end of South Street, it's back in the day, classic South Street was Hats in the Belfry, and then Abbott Square, Wawa, and then a parking lot. So that's that fort. Eric owned all that. Right. His money go back with the Strawbridge and Clothiers. The Bloomfeld money go back. Eric negotiated the deal between Live Nation and the church on Broad Street to make the Met. He put up most of that $40 million. Like, that's Eric. So anyway, but this is Eric, me talking to Eric 30 years ago. Right. Between basketball games. Right. At the time, all he owned was the block. Right. And the Laugh House was his little plaything. Well, the Catch a Rising Star. It was Catch a Rising Star. At the time, I'm dabbling in comedy, but my mentor is D. Lee.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing... Make some noise all the way from St. Louis. From Philly, though. Make some noise for D. Lee, y'all. Make some noise for D. Lee. Respect, round of applause, y'all. Hey, happy past Father's Day to all the fathers who are here.
The morning show at the radio. Okay. We throwing shows at Shea LaBelle's. We've rented ballrooms, Gloria's on 19th and Fairmount. Like, anywhere we could go to get a show, we would throw a show. And so, I basically introduced D to Eric.
Okay.
And they struck up a deal, and that's how the Laugh House became. That's how Catch a Rising Star became the Laugh House. Because D was smart. Like, I'll give it to him. Like, he was smart because he was on the morning show, and he leveraged that. Like, he wasn't like he had the capital.
Right.
He just was like, yo, Eric made him a deal, like, just give me that money off the top, you know, up to a certain percentage. But D went back to Power 99 at the time when radio was very viable, and he said, y'all ain't got to give me a check. Just Just put my money on the advertising for this club I own.
Right.
So I would come in, I'll do the morning show, but I don't know if it was all of his check, but he was like, but y'all can take half my salary and put it to radio advertising.
Right.
So that's why the city at one point, it was like the city with all, it was like the Laugh House, because it was always like he had control of the radio. So yeah.
And that's what you said.
I said I'm not into concerts or comedy and stuff like that, but I have a friend who always goes to comedy shows, and she was like, yo, I got tickets to the Laugh House. To Rae's gonna be here, but you know, because we all listen to the radio, you will hear D. Lee and all of them, Laugh House. So we go, and being not into comedy, yo, you're the only comedian outside of Eddie Murphy that really sticks in my head. Cause I was like, yo, he was hilarious. Like, the guy was hilarious. I was like, you know, I really had a good time. And, you know, and I was telling him, I said, I think he mentioned something about he went to Temple. I said, that's why he was at Philly. I don't know, but I just know he was funny. Like, I enjoyed myself at that show.
Yeah, I grew up in the Laugh House. That was my home. Like, I started when I was 19 years old, so I grew up in comedy. And
literally, to be honest with you, it had to have been about 20 years ago. Literally. So, and you have stuck in my head, and I can't say the last time I've seen you, because I really don't, you know what I mean? So my thing is, but I remember when I did see you, you were funny. So if you add experience, age, more life events, you're probably even funnier, but I'm not.
I am. And that's the crazy part. Like, I wish I could not be, you know, I'm wearing a shirt that says it, like, fuck humble, be amazing. And it's not that I'm not humble about it. I just know I'm good at that.
Right.
I might not be able to write a script. I might not be able to do little videos. I might not be able to dance or sing, but put me on stage for 10, 15 minutes.
We go down.
I'm all right.
I remember when the first time when BT had that little series.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this was before, like, the Instagrams and all that was all blown up. And I just remember getting a call from Kaus. He's like, yo, he's gonna be on BT.
Now,
I'm like, yeah.
The funny thing is, here's the crazy shit. Do you know, like, COUSIN TRACEY, Casey, like, pretty much RNF. You was, I don't know, you might have been there. We did Howard Homecoming, and they was at Cramden.
Okay.
And it's because they did the show. It was because I was at Howard. Like, I would go to their homecoming.
Right.
Because Temple homecoming was like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. I might looking back, I might have should have went to one of my own schools. Right. But I mean, I seen Biggie, Method Man, and Tupac.
Howard's Jones little
Howard Jones was racking. Like,
somebody tried to compare Howard to Lehigh type shit. Like, nah.
Like, it was like this was the same night at the Cramden. Like, and that was at the Carnegie Museum. That show I'm talking about with Biggie, Meth, and Tupac. That's when they did the what.
Right.
And I was like,
this is different.
This is college is different.
Right. So
this is
and it's like, you know, and it's funny because it's like, I didn't want to go to Howard because I didn't think I could survive there. I get lost here.
But because that's the Catholic school mentality.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Catholic school, and you know, but I played ball, and I was getting offers at the time from your Dell States and your black colleges, and I said, yo, I'm not gonna last at Dell State. Like, I'm not. And years later, my oldest daughter not only graduated from Dell State, she was Miss Delaware State University. So I was going to her homecomings. You got Lil Wayne, Trey Songz, like those homecomings, they come through. Now, mind you, I'm a parent, but I'm going to homecoming because that's Lil Wayne at a homecoming. Like, you know what I mean? So you know,
it is, and it's like, so. No, I'm sorry because I'll get off. But so they get me on. So, you know, your friends, like Casey was at the first show I ever done. The first time I ever performed, Casey was sitting right there. Like,
shout out to Casey.
Yeah, shout out to Casey. Mexican Casey.
Yeah.
But like right there, so he's sitting right there, and like so they, you know, my friends support me. So you know, Tracy doing his thing, they started. So they get Howard Homecoming at Cramden, and it's Smith and Wesson. it's like it's Ill and Out, Scratch. I think whatever that roster was, but Smith wasn't Ill. You know, it's an all right show, but it ain't the and R&F is doing. I think they were promoting it, so they get me the host position, and I'm up there, and it's not going well. It's not good. And I remember like it was this dude. He had on a burgundy hoodie, and I could see him like it was sitting right next to me, nigga. He's been sitting next to me my whole career. He had a burgundy hoodie on. He had no mic. I got a mic. You know what I mean? It's sold out auditorium. I got a mic. And this motherfucker commanded me just by looking at me hard enough. Like, he just stood there. And he had a burgundy hoodie on until I stopped and looked at him. He's like, yo, shut the fuck up and let them niggas rhyme. I was like, yo, y'all give it up for Smith and Yo, so like, I think that's honestly like COUSIN TRACEY. Like, that was they didn't see me again.
Right.
After that, like I had to go out, you know, my comedy career went the comedy way and they went hip hop
that way. Right.
So when they see me later, I could see how they was like, yo. Right. I didn't know. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you thought I gave up, nigga?
Right, yeah.
Y'all thought I gave up after that?
Yeah, because I tell you, when
it's been someone.
When we got the calls and all that,
yeah,
like, yo, he's going to be on the BET joint, and then saw a commercial and shit like, oh, shit, he going to be on the BET joint. You know what I'm
man,
saying?
like BET Comedy Group was dope. And it came, like, I wouldn't say by accident, but I didn't get picked for Comic View.
Okay.
No. I did. But what happened was back in the day they used to do auditions, and the Laugh House being a viable club, a lot of stuff used to come through.
Okay.
So they did this joint called Coming to the Stage. That was the one with Lil JJ. Okay. It was a contest.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
They seen me. And the same production was on Comic View. So the girl was like, yo, I want you to know if you like to do Comic View. And I'm like, not this. Because they there with the crew and all that. She's like, not this. She's like, nah, I don't really want you for this competition. I think you'd be better on Comic View. And I was like, all right. So, and I knew I didn't know how bad, I didn't know how the politics went. Right. So I got my little dry clean. I'm walking up on the set, and the dude was sitting at the set. He was like, he's from Coming to the Stage. He was like, oh, that's fucked up, man. He was like, they stole you from, you was supposed to do Coming to the Stage. I was like, and that was my first time doing Comic View, but it was like, I wanted to do Comic View. I wanted to, Def Jam was my thing when I got that. That was like, the crown jewel. But I was funny because I was talking shit with a younger comedian the other day, and I was like, I done shows you can't do. Right. They're not on no more. Right. I was like, the only thing you can hope is that you get a video to pop and go viral. I was like, but as far as my credits, nigga, I'm solid.
So how long you actually been doing comedy?
That's true.
Yeah.
And we're not going to say
29 years.
Okay, I'm paid comedy.
Yeah, about 19. You take 10 off of it. Take 10 off of it. Because I was like, I'm telling you, it was like I'm working. I'm an only child. I had a good situation. My mom and dad, I could stay there as long as I had a full-time job or was in school. That was the deal. You could stay. Right. So I was in school and I was working and I'm doing comedy, dabbling, and I'm sucking at all three. And my dad sat me down and was like, yo, you giving everything 33%. Nothing's getting 100% of your attention. You're half in school, you're half in comedy, half it. He's like, you got to pick something. And I picked comedy. And Lord bless me, I've never had to look back. So. And
that's great that you had parental support.
Oh yeah, and that was what you were saying when you see me. My mom said that because my mom, you get once you start doing it, you get all these interviews and stuff. So I had to ask my mom. I said, Mom, what did you think when I first started doing comedy? And she was like, I thought you had lost your mind. You put all this money into education and all this Catholic school and all this tuition, and you talking about you want to do comedy. Look, I just tore off the tag off my shirt and the Catholic school with me, rolled it up, put it in my pocket. You couldn't get up and go to the track can. She'd be like, put it in your pocket.
How about when they used to tell you blow your nose, put your tissue up in your sleep?
Like, hold on to that. You'll stop doing all that. You'll stop blowing your nose, you stop having to go to the bathroom. Anyway, so my dad was the one, my stepdad, my dad, but he was the one that was like, Vera, because my mom, he was like, Vera, let's go see him first. Right. Like, damn, you shitting on it. And she said, when I came to see you were good.
That's what's up.
It just took up. But yeah.
Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the state of comedy overall right now. And two-part question, and the role or the state of the black comedy situation right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your thought? Let's hear from, since you're in the industry, let's hear from, you know what I'm saying?
I think, and I mean, it's funny because you asked it that way, but I think it's two different things. It really is. Until you amass a certain level where your money is commingled with white folks, so to speak. Okay. You doing black comedy. Okay. You know, you black famous, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Once you become a Kevin Hart, that's someone who stands in corporate liaison with so many entities that he's performing, but he probably can't do yet what Dave Chappelle can. Dave Chappelle right now is the only free comedian.
Gotcha.
Why? And you'd be like, oh, and again, like, you know, I got my own feelings about who's who.
Right.
But, you know, cats are quick to crown, and, you know, it's not that. It's just that all of Dave's money comes from him standing on stage. He don't do no movies. So when it's and who gives the money for that? We do. Right. So he report directly to us. He don't have to answer the Sprite or Pepsi. Then when they fuck with him, they give him that money. When Sprite do give him $40 million, he like, yo, you know what that's right. You know what that come with, right? That's Dave Chappelle's $40 million. Don't expect it to go. So it's a different level. So when you're you know, when you say it was the state, I think it's all good because it's making money. You know, the state of black comedy, it's still the same. Black entertainment, we still pretty much on the chitlin circuit. Most of us are working for ours. Right. You know, whereas they anoint, you know, for theirs. Like, they'll just throw a motherfucker in there. Next thing you know, he's famous, and you gotta deal with him. Right. What's he done? Like, don't get me wrong, I know Pete Davidson. But I'm like, come the fuck on. Like, like I get it, but goddamn, like, and I don't give a fuck about his personal life. I'm talking about how y'all trying to push him. Like, and it'd be like, Will Ferrell was funny. This motherfucker, all right. Like, but with they shit is, you get anointed and it elevates. For us, we working for ours. Most of the time we working for ours because we report to the public. Like, you know, the people still buying our tickets, still buying our, you know, if you're an artist, it's still buying your music or getting your streams and all of that. Well, for the average comedian, that's what it is. Like, even the Def Jam grandfathered in, the Samores, the DLs, they have that, but they got to go get it. Like, it ain't like somebody calls them up and go, hey, here's some residual money. They still got to go get it. As successful as DL's show is, he does that so that when he goes to a club, he can call a shot. He can go to the club and do, let's do an 80-20 deal. Because it's going to sell out this weekend. Why? Because I've been on the radio pumping it. Like, it's not like, and that's his platform. He's able to create, he's able to do all that. So most of us are working. Like, Cat Williams, he's free too. Because Cat don't give a fuck. But he can't get that Dave type money. And Cat printing money. Because, like, when I heard Moneybagg Yo gets $250,000 a show, I was happy. Not like I get anything, and but it shows. It's like, yo, when these guys do shows, they get their money because that's the artist to the people. So when you got these cats doing that and selling out and getting that money like that, as a comedian, it's just a good thing because it's the money's there to be gotten as long as you can generate it. You know what I'm saying? That's the state of black comedy now. And we trying to figure out how to generate the platform because entertainment, period, all the platforms have been erased. There's nothing that elevates nothing. Like, you used to do Carson. Boom. Now you can do Kimmel and
all that, and it's still.
There's comedians that have done Kimmel. My man just did it the other night. Was Late Night? It's Kimmel, and then there's the other one.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'll be sleeping.
Yeah, me too.
So, and that's so unfortunate because but you'll do that, and then I'll get, because I'm in marketing, I do promotions for Live Nation. I've seen comedians be on there, and then I'll get an email like, yo, send out 50 free tickets for every show because they're not selling. They paper in the rooms because once we get you in the club, you got to buy a drink item. It's a 2-item minimum, whatever. So we could paper the room and make our money off the drinks and food. Most comedy clubs, industry comedy clubs, are dinner theaters. If you've seen the menu, it's like you go to Caroline's, they got grilled swordfish on the menu. Like they're not trying to miss. You want to pay $70 to see DL, and you want to spend $1. This is per head.
Gotcha.
So the industry is dictated by the money, and the money is being made by those that can generate it.
Gotcha.
So you got to figure out the way to generate it.
Gotcha.
So what do you think makes a good comedian, and where do you think comedians' role, how do they play a role in society? Like, what is...
Robert Townsend told me years ago, he was like, you as a comedian, you owe a responsibility to say something. To say something. Like, not just be up there shucking and jiving. Like, say something. And, you know, I think comedians' role is to be honest, be truthful, not be hurtful. Like, you know, like, the jester was the dude that made the king feel good. Like, instead of chopping these 3 dudes' heads off, let me talk to this dude for a minute. Let me calm down. And he'd be like, you know, he'd make him laugh. There's too much to me in comedy. And again, I'm not attacking nobody because that's, you know, everybody do what they do on stage. But too much, all right. I'm at the Soul Train Awards, not Soul Train Awards, BET Awards, Comedy Awards. One year BET tried to do the Comedy Awards. It was where, and it's funny because it's the rise of it was the rise of Cat Williams. All right, a lot of people don't know this story. It's dope. It's inside stuff.
There we go. The BYRDCAGE, where I tell you, get the exclusives.
All right, so at the BET Comedy Awards first year, JB Smoove performed.
Okay.
Right? JB Smoove, who's big star now, you know him from the Caesar commercial. He's Caesar.
I see him all day. I'm
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
My Caesar's book.
Right.
Real Husbands of Hollywood.
Right. Curb Your Enthusiasm, Real Husbands. So, but they've been trying to move JB forward, and this BET Comedy Awards was supposed to be his coming out party. He was, you know, performed to a set. JB's material, like JB's physical. He's as physically talented as Dick Van Dyke. Like, you have to, if you've seen JB. Now, not so much, but then that's what it is. And the crowd didn't feel him. It was that LA Hollywood awards crowd. It was so this nigga bombed, right? So Cat Williams performed after, or you know, like also.
Right.
Cat Williams murdered.
Killed it.
They said from that show, the management that had Cat Williams went from the phones not ringing in the office to needing more phones. Wow. Like, that blew him up because he blew it up, right? So, but to get to this story about who's in charge and what we need to be doing is what I think is a good comedian. So between takes, because it's a taping, I'm outside smoking. And I happen to be off to the side, but I can see the back door, and the back door limo pulled up, and LL gets up. I'm a big LL fan, but I'm not going to run over a person. But I can see about 30 women just, like, you know, he got out the limo, took pictures. His people like, yo, L, we got to go. He's like, cool. Take pictures still, you know. L, we got to go. He's like, cool, I got you. About the third, yo, he said, and we will. I sit there and watched it. He said, and we will, after I sign these autographs and take these pictures. As he stopped, like, just looked at his man, like, and then went back. And I was like, he gets it. Them 30 chicks is what makes it. That's what makes his career. That's what we worked for. And even at that point, and he knew it. Like, this wasn't LL from Cold Crush Groove. This was LL when he was trying to figure out whether he wanted to wear the big hat or not. Like, you know what I mean? But he understood it. So, to me, we worked for the people. You're here to entertain, here to uplift. I ain't saying you gotta be cheesy and corny, but you damn sure ain't gotta insult everybody in the audience or have that attitude of y'all came to see me. If they did, then you entertain them. Right. There are not a lot of comedians that have gotten to that level yet. You know, like I said, with Chappelle is different. Like Chappelle has maniacal fame. I don't want that. And I can honestly, I don't. Not to say I won't do anything that comes, but I don't want that. I don't want. And I thought about it, like even with Kevin, who's a friend of mine. Right. You got that many followers. I didn't think about it with Kevin. I remember I did a show in Philly. Just Hilarious was here. This was about 2-3 years ago. 4 years ago. It was before the pandemic. And Just Hilarious was here. It was like when she was first starting to bubble. But I don't be paying attention. I'm busy working. I didn't know she had a back and forth with Meek. A little, you know.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Me neither. So they went to introduce me to her, but she had all this security, And even to the point where it's like when I went to shake her hand, she was like, I'm sorry, because it was like niggas like,
Right.
it was like, put your hand in this
Right.
hole or something. I'm like, she was like, I'm sorry. I was like, it's cool. I walk away. I was like, why does she got all that fucking security? It's like, do you know how many crash test dummies Meek got? I was like, he's like, somebody just to impress.
Right, just
might go after this bitch.
Right.
And I was like, that's the level of fame I don't want.
Right,
So
gotcha.
a lot of these cats have that level, and I just think when it comes down to it, you don't have to go back and forth in the audience. You can entertain without insulting, and you should have something to say. You know what I mean? So for me, my role is to always get my money, get home to my family safely, and entertain, man. Entertain. Have people have a good time. I say that on stage, like, we're going to have a good time tonight. And sometimes I'll set the tone, like, and I say, and I know there's a couple motherfuckers in here that didn't come to have a good time. I'm talking to you, too. Like,
So.
You know, I think for me, and my opinion, of course, is my opinion alone, but I think some comedians that I've gone to shows, and these are big name comedians now, they were big name comedians then. I don't want to always hear about your pussy or the fucking or like, it's other jokes, it's other shit going on in society that doesn't have fucking involved with it, and you can make comedy out of other stuff. So like some of the, I think for me, that's why I kind of got turned off, and I'm like, I don't want to go to a comedian. Like, I don't want to hear about, like this same so many times I can hear my pussy, and I just done had enough, or the pussy, and I done had enough. But again, I'm going to say the reason why you stuck out my head, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, because blowing smoke up ain't what T all do. Everybody know this.
Definitely.
Your comedy was pure, it was natural, it was funny, it was situations, but it wasn't vulgarity.
No. I believe there's a fine line between cursing and vulgar, obscene and offensive. You know, like you can be all of that without, you know, like I tell comedians a lot, you know, being black comedians, coming up in black comedy, performing in front of black women, watch all them bitches. Because a lot of times, bitch, and it's like, who, what bitch, it's nothing but women. Who exactly are you talking to? Like, you had to watch that, like, and I am guilty of it earlier. Now it's easy not to say that, because it's like, I don't even, it's more like sis, ma. Because once you offend a black woman, you've lost her in that audience. That's done. Not only her, but she got the energy to start moving that table. Like, y'all still laughing at this motherfucker?
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
The husband definitely got to go.
You ain't ready to go.
The husband definitely like this.
Like, check, please.
He like, my bad, I want to laugh.
I want to laugh.
I can't laugh no more.
She want to go.
I can't laugh no more.
But yeah, it's the vulgarity, and then sometimes, man, it's just shock, and they do it for the shock value. Like, you have nothing else, so you say something shocking. I don't like, dick, pussy. I don't even get that. It's like, I don't want to hear about taking a shit. I don't want to hear about, like, I don't want to hear about the gross, banal, ghetto shit. I don't want to hear about the bodega, poppy. So it is what it is. But, we all have different approaches to how we get our laughter. So I'm not going to knock nobody, because
and that's just my thing.
When I started, man, my journey been long. I know I've been on stage with a leotard on looking for the laugh. So not something I would do now, but at that time, I know no better.
That's my thing. It's just my choice. Yeah. And as a person that can buy a ticket, and I don't.
That's your check and balance. And people kill me with all. I'll be like, yo, you don't have to go.
Right.
If you don't like that person, this is your check and balance of anything in life. And in America. Don't buy it. Don't tune in. Don't buy. Don't wear it.
Don't tune in.
Don't give them no energy. Yeah. I'd be like, I didn't know what you. Yeah, you ain't hear about that. I don't. Like, when people was like, I'm a big comic book fan. Be like, I can't believe Superman is gay. You don't even read comics. Why are you worried about this?
Superman's gay.
They had a story like, but you gotta understand.
I don't read comics.
Right.
And guess what? I don't care.
Right. It's like
it's not my lane.
Comic books, 5,000 writers. You think one of these motherfuckers ain't gonna have a storyline? Where they go? Let me go over here with this.
Let me see what I can get with this.
Hey, listen, I know my lanes. My lanes are very defined.
I bet you that motherfucking book is worth money. I wish I could get my hands on one of them. The Superman, the coming out issue.
The coming out.
Shit. Right. But yeah, it is about entertaining to me.
And it's and when you mentioned Kevin Hart, when I read his book a couple years ago. I'm reading, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, Touré's in the book?
He's in the book.
I didn't read the book.
I'm like, oh shit. He talking about my boy. I was excited.
I know him.
Like somebody could hear me or something. I'm reading the book. I'm like, oh shit.
So much. Like my phone. Well, it started with Laugh at My Pain. If you see Laugh at My Pain, I'm in Laugh at My Pain. Quick story about that. I didn't know how much respect Eddie Murphy got in Hollywood until I went to the Laugh at My Pain premiere. All right, quick, put it all together. For those who don't know, I started Kevin Hart and kind of like I was the first guy to take Kevin on the road and send him in a certain direction. People be like, you did this, I didn't do nothing.
Right.
That motherfucker was gone. Like,
right.
All he was going to either run into a wall or I sent him down the hallway. It was like, go that way.
Go that way.
So, but so he invite. I'm in his documentary Laugh at My Pain because he can't tell his story of how he got started without me. I'm like his first coach. So it's like. It's in the book. Like, yeah, like if LeBron got that Coach Drew back in. Yeah, I'm that dude. So I'm at the premiere and I'm seated and there's like 2 seats next to me, but the rest of the theater's packed. And I mean, it's who's who. It's like half of the Wayans family. You know, Terrell Owens was there. I remember like it was like I'm looking around like, wow, like this is crazy. Like I didn't, you know, like again, it's like I don't really be thinking about Kevin's stardom like that until I'm around it and I see it. I'm like, he's still Kev, and he still acts like that to me. It's not like he around me like, what the fuck you doing? You can't do that. Like, I thought we was in Montreal one time. His security walked us to his hotel, opened the door, gave Kev the key, and left. I was like, if I threw him over the balcony, his security would be in so much trouble. Right. But it's like that's TU RAE. Like he's not gonna do nothing. Like they'd be like, what you do? He's like, I left him with TU RAE. They'd be like, oh, all right. Like TU RAE tripped out. Like, but anyway, I say that to say he doesn't treat me any different when we're around. So I don't always be. So we at the premiere and he gets up and you know he's about to start the movie. He says, hey, thank you everybody for coming to the movie and appreciate y'all. All right, we're gonna start the movie. Lights go out, so we're about to start, and then it stops, and then the lights come back on. I'm like, it must be technical difficulty. What's going on? Nigga, they start clapping. I'm like, well, the movie over already? And so I'm looking, everybody started looking. Eddie Murphy came in. Like the whole theater. Like, I'm like, damn, we get applause just for being here? Because he ain't in the movie. Like damn, man. Like, so he came in, only 2 seats. Right. And he was with Arsenio Hall.
Right, okay.
Him, Eddie Murphy here, Arsenio Hall on the other. So I'm sitting there now. This is my nigga. This, I'm like this. I can't even look at this motherfucker. I'm like, so the movie starting. I'm in the beginning scene, like the open.
Right.
And Eddie Murphy go, that's you? I did just like this. I didn't even look at that man. I was like, like to me, that's the dude. Like to me,
that's the dumb god. That's
like, who is he? All right, y'all keep talking that shit. I'm gonna watch Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is the guy to me. So it's Jordan and Eddie Murphy. Like,
that's it. That's all.
That's it. Like them 2 dudes, I'm good with them. But you know, so it's just been that type of situation. Right. So when he tells his story, he has to mention my name, and so many people are shocked. Like, oh my God, he mentioned your name, and I'm like. I mean, it's the same thing if I was to tell you how I started. Like, I gotta say Laugh House. Like, you gotta say, you know, so. And it was dope, man, them Laugh House days, because I remember, and you're saying, like, yo, you one of the comedians that stood out. At the time, before it closed, right, you know, when it's at its heyday or when it's making, they had pictures of everybody on the wall, but they only had 2 big pictures, like, you know. And one of them was Kevin, and one of them was me. That's what's up. And I used to tell that to people, like, when people would get out of line, and I'd be like, yeah. It's 2 pictures on the wall in here. One of them is a superstar. The other one is me. What the fuck you think that means? Like, shut up. Like, I'm not the one. Like,
that's what's up. So, you all over the place.
Yeah, man.
Like, when I tap into your, or I ain't got to tap in, when I see your social media posts and all that, you're flying here, you're flying here, you're flying there, you're hosting your own, you're doing this, you that, and the third. How is that? Like just that life on the road, like
it's
like
better.
that. Because we always talk about the hustle and the grind. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have it? Wait, before you tell us about that, do you have a family, like wife, kids? What's the? Okay, so now, with that being said, how is that with that?
It's
wife,
better.
kids.
You know, I jokingly say I'm a black entertainer, so yeah, I got a lot of kids. It's 8 kids.
But yours?
5 of mine,
okay.
3 of my ladies.
Okay.
But none of my kids are by my lady. None of my kids are with my fiance.
Gotcha.
So it's 8 kids. We have 8 kids together. We'll be getting married next year.
Congrats on that.
23. Thank you.
Feel free to invite the Birdcage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I probably will. Cause
I could be his. I'll be his +1.
There you go. Because that's like this is my thing. Like with this wedding, like she had such a problem planning, and I'm like, I don't have no problem. Like, well, you know, some people gonna be. I said, and those people will get a +1 invitation. Everybody else get an invitation, no +1. I said, if you know certain people are gonna come with their husband, yes. I said, but not your cousin who ain't got nobody.
Right.
No.
Yeah,
She come by herself, but you don't come. I was like, had that on her invitation. I said, yo.
Listen,
listen.
my boy
I
just
have
did
no
that.
problem.
My boy just did that. If you're openly single,
Not
without
right.
a significant other,
and no kids, and monetary gifts only. I don't need a toaster.
Right.
I don't need nothing. Like she like, well, babe, you can't do that.
yes, she can.
At 220 a head.
Yeah.
Watch this. I do events. Like this ain't nothing to me. Like so. Anyway, I digress.
Right.
But I say that to say, when I first started, man, because you chasing, you know, you chasing, and you think that's the way to do it. You know, the integrity will come. You know, you have the integrity, and the reward will come later. So it's greyhounds, and you know, days in and dumb shit like that. You know, that's early. And I remember somebody said to me something. They was like, you know, can you get me a hotel? I was like, yeah, man, hotel come with it. Like you know, like man, like I wish I would. Like man, I'd be like,
oh no, you can't do.
Like somebody be like, you know, your fly. I was like, I don't.
Right.
I book my own. Nobody flies me. I fly me. I don't get flued out.
Right.
I book my own flight because what I've learned is, motherfucker gonna put you on whatever flight gets you there.
Right.
I need to be comfortable. I'm 6'6". I need to either exit row or first class.
Right.
Oh, that's expensive. I got miles.
Right.
Let me work. Give me. So, but it's a lot better now because home is steady.
Gotcha.
You know, my fiance came in and she did that. We've been together for a while. I just late, you know, and it wasn't her. I always tell people it was me. Like, nigga, be husband? That sound like a tall order, nigga. Like, hey, all the husbands I know show up, nigga. Like, my dad, my uncles, I'm like, niggas show up every day. I don't know if I can do that, man. Like, so it was me. Like, but she was like, nigga, you been showing up. I'm like, okay. Right. So yeah, but we've been together, and she came in and she came in and was like, and pretty much maybe because she, you know, has children, but it was like kids. Like, you like these kids, like one of her favorite lines, these kids gotta eat. And I'm like, ain't no kids. All our kids, they big now. I'm like, ain't no kids. Like, these niggas are grown. They drive. Like, they get, like, and she be making food. I'm like, they ate already at their friend house or at Chick-fil-A. Like, she'd be like, you ain't make nothing for the kids? I'm like, no.
They ain't eating.
Right, but anyway, I say that to say, to have a partner who understands and supports made it easier, number one. Me knowing what I had to do and what was expected of me on the road made it easy, number two. And then being on the road with some more made it easier because I was on the road. I've been on the road with some more for like the past 12 years. Okay. And I don't have to worry about nothing. Gotcha. All I gotta do is get to the airport. I gotta be at the airport at a certain time.
Right.
That's it. Once I get to her management takes over. Like, you know, all I need to do, once I'm next to her, all I gotta do is tell time. That's it. And it feels so good because I ain't gotta worry about where I'm going. Right. So being that and then having that drilled into your head and that's your routine, you start to realize, well, why don't other people do this? Well, they don't do it because you don't make them. So you start to make them respect you. You start to make them. And you have to learn the power of no. Right. You know, as you get longer into your career, I'm not going all the way to do
I'm not doing that.
Because I'm telling you, I teach at comedy college, and but I tell this story about going to Minnesota on a Tuesday night for $150. Now, this was 23 years ago, because it was before the twins, and I remember being in my apartment. I used to have an apartment with Mo and Barry, and sitting on the couch, and B Flat called. She's like, "You want to go to Minnesota tonight?" I was like, "Tonight." She's like, yeah, it was like $250. I was like, $250 all the way to fucking Minnesota? She's like, TuRae, they fly you out. You be back home tomorrow before 1 o'clock. I was like, now I can sit on my couch and get no money, or I can go to Minnesota and get $250. So I went to Minnesota and got the $250. You can't call me with $250 now.
Right.
You can't call me with $250 in the city. Like, you can't call me $250 around the corner. Like, Sesh owed me for this. Like, he don't even know. He don't even know. He gonna come down here, I'll be in the...
TuRae, don't expect.
He's
still reneging on my contract. TuRae, if you watch any episode...
What he say is processing.
Yeah. If you watch any episode, he's still reneging on my contract.
Don't worry about it.
TuRae,
I've been talking to him.
You get your shit, give my shit to it.
Yep. But yeah. So, and that's, I think, so to answer the question, the road is comfortable for me.
Right.
It's a place I'm comfortable with.
Gotcha.
I'm able to move around. I'm not one of the people that get lost. Like, you know, a lot of people can't go nowhere. I know, my dad lived in New York most of my life, so I know the subway system in New York. I know how to react in crowds and all that. Like, I remember just last week, I flew into Midway and had to take the L over to O'Hare. Somebody was like, how you do that? I was like, you get off the plane and get on the train. They got signs and everything. Like, so, yeah, I enjoy the road, man.
That's what's up.
So you just made mention about comedy college. What is that?
Philadelphia Comedy College is the mutation of something I started doing at the Laugh House called Comedy by TuRae Stand-Up Workshop. And in this game, I've been doing it so long, there's ups and there's downs, and just in my heart sometimes I started feeling like that there were times that I didn't appreciate what I had. I didn't appreciate comedy. I didn't appreciate what comedy was giving me. And I didn't know how to balance that. So, you know, I had to, for me, it was like, you got to give back. You got to give back. How do you do that? You don't have shit yourself. You're like, you can just write checks. But I have this knowledge. I know how to do this, and I know how to, you know, teach. And I honestly think all I really, really do is instill some sort of confidence in cats. Like, yo, man, you can do this. And I think that's the thing I give. But as far as instruction, it became a workshop. Come on down, let's work on your sets. Let's do this. And so Keith from up the block, from Urban Expressions in Philly, he was embarking on his comedy journey, and he was just like, look, he says it's the cheapest way to get you to be my instructor. So he formed Philadelphia Comedy College, and he basically he did all of the stuff I don't want to do. He did all this. He did all the administrative type of
the paperwork,
all that frame, the curriculum. He does all that, and he goes, "You teach. You just teach." And he allows me to do that, so I don't have to. It's like being on the road. Like I sit back and I'm able to teach, and he puts everything around it. And you know, for that, I thank him, because it's a great thing to do it with him, because he has the creativity to make it fun. And at this point, man, we've graduated over 168 comedians. So now it's a 10-week course.
That's what I was saying. How's the cycle?
Okay, so we basically do a 10-week course. We only do 2 a year because I don't want to be working in the summer. And
so you're a real teacher.
Yeah, I was going to say, sound like a teacher.
Summer's all type thing.
Sound like a teacher.
I ain't never been near school in summer, ever. Like, you I got to go to summer school. I don't know what that's
that is.
I'm sorry, because my birthday June 15th. Like, most times I'm not in school on my birthday, so it's like, anyway, so I didn't want to, we do a 10-week course, and basically the structure of the class, what we aim to do, you said, what's target goal, is to teach you a 5 to 7 minute set. Because in comedy, you need a 5 to 7 minute set to get anywhere. You need to come, if you walking in off the street, you want to work at this new club, show me, let me see a 5. If you a big star and they want to put you in a movie, well, give me a 5-minute monologue. You need 5 minutes, 7 minute set. So that's your pass. That's your passport through entertainment. You need to be able to perform a 5 to 7 minute bit. If you were a singer, it'd be the same thing. That's about the length of a song. So, I mean, it goes for those that are already doing it. If you already doing it, we can structure your stuff, get you better. Those that are not, they don't have nothing, we get you to the level where you're ready to start. So the 5 to 7 minute set is built over 10 weeks. Tuesday nights, 6 to 8 p.m., 2 hours. and we go to work. We stand on stage in front of each other. We write out our jokes again. You know, it's a real class, and it makes us all better. You know, it makes me better as a comedian because I gotta sit here and tell y'all what's good and what's not, and then hold myself to the same integrity. Somebody be sitting there like, I thought you said that was good. Like, so you want to elevate yourself and be, you know, inspiring to them and have them inspire you in the same way. And I mean, it's a beautiful thing, man. But we do them twice a year.
Because we had remember we had Garnett was on here, and he was saying he came through.
Yeah, and we do a showcase at the end. Their graduation is a showcase performance where they perform at the Punchline. It used to be at Warm Daddies, but now it's at Punchline, which is a step up. And it's always a great show because it's like their friends and family sold out. It's such a great energy, and we rock out.
So how do you said you get them instructions, so how do you come up with your routines? Like, what is it, life experiences? Is it just sitting you my thoughts? Is it like, how do you, or you see something going down the street, like, it's funny as hell, let me
it's all of that. Like, for me, the good thing about me is I'm on stage a lot. Like, I have the ability, like, I don't put paper to pen like I used to when I was first starting, because that was really me just writing down thoughts. What I have now is the ability to go on stage and just say it and see how it sounds, or see what I'm supposed to say a different way, or see if they like it, see if they can relate, see if they think in the same way, see if they've had the same experience. So I'm able to say it and firm it up, and a lot of times I'm hosting an event, so you don't really have to have a full joke. But if I'm hosting that event and I'm hosting 5 shows this weekend, maybe by Monday, it'll be a full joke because I've been tightened it up, or it's a thought. So a lot of my stuff comes from life experience. I'm 48 years old. I'm a black man in America. I got kids. I got a lady. I got a dog. No, I don't got a dog yet. I'm getting a dog. I got a cat. But, you know, just living, man. And if you can't laugh at some of this stuff and then bring that to someone else and say, did you see this? And compare it and pull it apart and tell it to them how they might need to hear it. You know, it's a wonderful thing. Like, I had did a show at a golf course, so, you know, predominantly white. And a guy came up to me afterwards. He said, what's the difference between you and Jerry Seinfeld? And he said, you know what I'm saying, right? And I said, yeah. I said, and I'm not going to take nothing away from Jerry. He one of the greats. I said, but it's better marketing. Like, he's just in. I said, but don't sit here and act like he hasn't earned that. I was like, Jerry the man, and he earned it the hard way, the old school way. Just being on stage until somebody wrote a successful hit. I'm like, you ain't see Jerry doing everything like Jerry. I said, but I understand what you mean. Like, he meant, you so damn good, man. Like, what's the why? You know, and it's like, well, that's the way it is.
So, speaking of the way it is, here go Cousin Tracy. Do you feel like white comedians, and you brought up Mr. Davidson, do you feel like white comedians get a faster route to their market than black comedians? Or do you think they expect a certain style of comedy from a black comedian that they don't expect from a white comedian? If that makes sense.
No, I think they're just, like, we think we more, but there's more white people on the planet than black people.
Oh, absolutely,
you know
I get that.
Whatever it is, it's supported by that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And there's more opportunities for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more opportunities for them. There's more, they own more. They can put themselves on first more.
And I think also, too, and this is going to, please, y'all know how I am. They support theirs.
We do, too.
Sparingly. We choosy. Let's be real. We real choosy. It's gotta be good. It ain't even gotta be good. But sometimes we choosy because you may have said something that I don't like him no more. Like, I ain't going, oh, yo, sis, don't go see him because he, you know what I mean? We choosy.
I don't think that that's more prevalent with us. I think that's just people. I think if it's good, though, you get more than less. Like, you know, we grew up at a time where it had to be good. Like, you know what I mean? You got to think about our era. Like, we wore Timbs not always because they was the most stylish, because they was reputable. They was Timbs. They stood by their word.
And they was never comfortable.
Right, they wasn't never comfortable. But if you said, man, it was the stitching came out and sent them back, they stood by their word. Well, I still think in entertainment that product value is worth something. Like, I give a quality product. I don't care whether it's black or white. Like, I think I give a quality product, and black people can't argue with it. White people know it.
Right.
There's the difference. You try to make a product black people can't argue with, like to the point where you go with black people, oh nigga, you just don't like it. Like, well, then that's what it is. But you can't say he whack.
Right.
You can't say he, and that's all I want. Like you know, like when I say things, I'll be like, am I lying? If I'm a liar, then call me a liar.
Right.
But I'm not. I'm not lying. If I'm good, I'm good. If you don't like me, then that's two different things. Right. So, but I think that as long as you're putting out a quality product, people don't matter what they are, they won't always respond to it. Right. And consistency. You have to be consistent with it.
And that's what anything. Consistency breeds success.
Yeah.
And
like the weed man gotta have it when I want it all the time. The first day he ain't got it, it's the first sale he done just lost a sale. It ain't. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna go. Well,
yeah, right.
You gotta have it. Consistency.
Now, before we get out of here, just real quick, any advice to our youngins? Because we got a lot of youngins that follow us as well. You know what I'm saying? That might want to go that route. Just any advice to them, real quick?
Do it. Like I love the youth. And I ain't saying I'm a champion on them like that. I know y'all do a lot of fucked up shit too.
Right.
But I love y'all aggression.
Right.
I love, can't nobody tell you can't do it. Right. Like I love it. Like we didn't have that.
Right.
We was always on some, these motherfuckers be like, well, why not?
Right.
They'll bust their heads and be like, I thought, man, I ain't know. And I love that about them and the outlets they have. Like there's no boss over them. This thing right here.
Yeah.
Take them places that we
can go.
Yeah,
they can go. And to the young, funny cats that's doing it already, the ones I be seeing in Atlanta and in Chicago, the young generation of comedy is really, really funny. Right. Y'all need to give them a chance because you're not gonna know their name.
Right.
You're not gonna know these names. I mean, there's just so many of them, and they just like it's a lot of young rappers. There's a lot of young, funny comedians, funny, original. Right. Got their own stuff, their own style. Right. Check out some of this comedy, man, and not just black, white too. Like check out some of this live stand-up comedy because I truly believe we are the last bastion of live entertainment. After us, it don't be like this.
That was a drop the mic.
On that note,
that was a drop the mic. Future plans, like what you thinking? Like just keep rocking
funny
and
all
rolling.
over.
Yes,
the comedy brunch is my
new
thing.
My bad. I forgot to bring that up.
Comedy brunches, man. I'm older now.
Sunday brunch.
Yes.
When does that start?
Well, it started. It's been doing them a year now.
Yeah. He's been after.
Brunch So Funny is something I'm trying to do in different cities, different places. Right now, I got one in South Philly, one starting in Savannah. So brunchsofunny.com.
When you get older, you gotta think more. That's all. Just think more. Because as a grown man, there's certain shit you shouldn't be doing no more. Fist fighting for me, I cut that out. Well, I stopped fist fighting at 30. At 44, I either shoot a motherfucker or let it slide. I swear to God. I'm not gonna be in the street scuffling with these kids. They all hyped up on MTV Jams and Mountain Dew. You don't even know what the fuck you fighting for.
Go to the website.
Oh yeah, and let them know while you on that note. Let them know where to find you at.
LukeStage.com. Yeah. I'm in the domain name. ComedyByTuRae.com. BrunchSoFunny.com.
Yeah, we'll make sure they're all posted.
So we'll make sure all of that's posted. Shit, I didn't even know, and nor did you share that information. You know we like the brunch. You know I'm a brunch.
Come to the brunch.
Yeah, I'm a bruncher.
Yeah.
I just listen. It's so crazy. I'm a brunchy. I just joined this group called Brown Skin Brunchies. It's a bunch of black women that got brunches, do brunches all over the country.
Well, bring them to Brunch So Funny. So comedy brunch. I got y'all.
Yes. We have to slide through the BYRDCAGE up in the brunch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Any shout outs, anything like that before we get out of here?
Shout out to my kids, my family, the cupcake. My mom's recovering from knee surgery, so shout out to mom all the time. And just keep laughing. It's Gemini season, so I don't know when you're gonna see this or when you watch it and repeat. It's Gemini season, so
definitely. Shout
out to everybody that's been supporting me, man. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. I do not take it for granted. I do it for y'all. Thank you.
That's definitely what's up, bro. Come on, man. I appreciate this.
Yes, I got people calling my phone. Where you at?
Yeah. We already know. We already know what it is. I told you he's busy.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Sir.
I told you he's busy. Told you he's busy. You know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate you sliding on. You know what I'm saying? I just want to thank all our viewers once again. You know what I'm saying? For checking us out and tuning in and everything that you do. And Cousin Tracy, You know, it ain't no Birdcage without you. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you and whatnot. And you know what I'm saying? You about to see why I have to go first. I used to go to guest give the wrap up, then Cousin Tracy get a wrap up, and then I would give my wrap up. But I can't compete. So there you go.
First and foremost, thank you to Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on.
Appreciate it.
You're a celebrity, and thank you for giving us your time, and we appreciate it. Because you know what it is between us. When this airs, it will be the last Monday of May. Remember, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We got to keep our minds and our thoughts clean, keep them on rotation. If you're having any challenges or need any help, always reach out. You can reach out to me, You Can't Be TH, on Instagram. I will provide you with any resources you may or may not need, because that's what we do. Daylight Foundation Weekend is coming up. Mental Health Wellness Weekend is coming up. It starts June 1st, and it culminates with brunch on June 5th. And in the brunch, we have nurse practitioners, male nurse and therapists, and a young man that went through the Daylight program, and when he needed to learn how to get in touch with his emotions and his mental well-being, and they all look like us. So I know a lot of times for us, when we talk about mental health challenges in therapy, it's hard for us to get therapists because we want people to look like us because we think it makes them relatable. Well, here I am here to tell you, Daylight Foundation has resources to get you in front of therapists that look like us. So with that being said, be well. Be well, my people, be well.
And don't forget, June 4th, when we had a block party,
we'll be live.
We'll be shooting live on location, so make sure you're in the building. If you're in the area, might need you to stop through for a second. You know what I'm saying?
June 4th, I'm in Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, some more shooting special. June 3rd and 4th in Miami.
Okay. Can you tell us some more? I said hello?
I will.
Okay, thank you.
Jersey. She's Jersey finest.
Thank you. That's what's up. Well, on that note, once again, I'm Techawayo, a.k.a. Coach Bird. I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE Show, and we'll talk to you soon.
It was a stone groove, my man.